Hey there, guys. Our offensive struggles have continued, but we have still managed to remain winning with very strong pitching performances in the past couple days. So it looks like we're going to be starting against the Stars for our first game, and I'm not exactly sure who we will end up with for our second. So I guess we can just go right on into it. All right, I think this lineup is probably about right. Sean Ostovich is our utility outfielder. I traded away actually, we should probably review that trade before we get started. So we traded Silvino Herrero, Damani Moselle, Mike Fisher, and Jorge Castillo, and in return we got a relief pitcher. So this was really more of a salary dump than anything, it seems, that we just got rid of Herrero because I was not so confident that he was going to end up turning out. We made a couple smaller moves as well. These are pretty much just housekeeping, nothing huge, no major acquisitions. I don't even think anybody from these trades is on our roster right now. We did pick up a pretty interesting prospect at the cost of one of our top prospects as well, and a couple other pieces, but nothing huge in any of those trades. So I guess we can just go ahead and get started. Anyways, as I was saying, Ostovich has been promoted and he is now our utility outfielder. Looks like we're going to have a lot of guys out today, actually. Todd and Rennie on the bench potentially. Let's see here. We're starting Mosqueda and Pat Davis. Why is Pat Davis batting second is what I want to know. In no universe am I going to allow Pat Davis to bat second. Alright, well, Fregoso, even though we are facing a lefty, will be batting second today. And I guess we can just bump everybody else up one spot. Mosqueda is definitely competent here. I do want Ostovich batting ninth, so I guess the lineup as it stands is okay. Our bullpen is mostly rested with the exception of course, Bustamante, but overall I think we should be fine. Their pitcher does not look to be too good. He's not going to walk many of our guys, but we shouldn't strike out literally at all. So let's see how this goes. All right, well, first I guess I'm going to have to enable sound because I have been disabling it lately. All right, and Tamura will get this one started. Let's see what we can do here. 2-0, that's a good count for him. Hopefully we can get a single here to start this one off, or a double. Or, actually in the not so unlikely event, a home run. Tamura isn't too weak when it comes to the power. He has had 30 home run seasons before, but it will be a single to get this one started, and I will take a look here and see if we're going to have him steal second. Nah, Luis Miranda is way too good of an arm. I will save those for another time. Fregoso makes good on the promise of not striking out, and we will have our first two men reach. Rodolfo Razzo now, full count. Seriously doubt he strikes out. He does not, but a line drive is snagged by their second baseman, and that will keep us with one out and men on first and second. That was very weak contact by, I believe it was Molina there. So unfortunately, the middle of our lineup not looking so good, but Duenas does mash lefties, apparently not this one though. The irony is that we didn't have a single ball on the ground despite the fact that he's a ground baller, and we still managed to... This guy is their leadoff hitter. Okay, well, it looks like this is a very, very weak hitting lineup. I'd say this is probably their best batter, and as if he's not hitting a home run, he's not too dangerous. So we should expect a pretty clean day from Ruelas today. Yeah, easy strikeout there. It's not really that surprising. Ruelas has been pitching exceptionally lately, putting up really high game scores, some really nice games, and I say that as he allows a single, but I still expect that he should breeze through the Stars lineup most of the time. And there's a wild pitch. Okay, yeah, let's hope this doesn't continue. Full count and a walk, which is something he should not be doing very often. it's really critical to get a good game out of Ruelas because we don't know what kind of offensive production to expect. And he gets out of the inning. Although he did throw more pitches than we would have liked to see. Wow. Mosqueda's actually improved his contact versus lefties, and he is now a lefty killer. I would not mind batting Mosqueda like second versus lefties now, honestly. Maybe even platoon him with Todd at this point because he is looking so nice. And Pat Davis finds a way to strike out against this guy. Now, I will say, this guy was one of the best pitchers in baseball for a stretch of years. Like, during this period, he competed with my high-end aces. And often, as you could see, won in the WAR category. He's always been a control artist, and he's been like an all-around great pitcher in his best years. Few walks, few homers, and high strikeout rates. So he's a shell of what he was, but still pitching quite well today for the Stars. I seriously doubt we're going to get anything from Ostovich. And he somehow strikes out, but that drop strike 3. Oh, and he still can't. Wow, Ostovich, that's just pathetic. I can't believe we struck out twice against that guy. If we don't get any strikeouts for the rest of the day, it's still been too many. There's no reason to strike out against a 39-year-old burned out stuff pitcher. He's not incompetent. He's still got solid control, but we should be getting decent BABIP, and we should not be striking out. All right, well, Ruelas is having a nice quick inning here. He gets a strikeout here, then, yep, that's a very nice inning there. Hopefully we can get more of those from him. Here's Tamura, and he's not going to reach this time. This is really not the game that we were hoping to get. Fregoso 0-2. He doesn't strike out, but he doesn't get on either. And we still have not had a batter since Fregoso back in the first inning, I believe. Well, there's a double by Razzo. I don't think he's going to be able to stretch it into a triple. Yep. Nonetheless, great production there from our MVP shortstop, as expected. Molina. And he will once again be out on weak contact. 1-0 here. And there's another hit. The Stars' offense is doing almost as well as ours, which is kind of sad. No, it's very sad, actually. Two and one. That's into left, and Ostovich is not going to get to it. Yeah, he's a far cry from Laureano defensively. Strikeout. And strikeout. Ruelas really racking him up this time. Duenas, of course, lefty killer. And he will instead kill that ball into the dirt. He might have broken some grass blades there. Mosqueda, who should be hitting much better versus lefties as well, unable to do anything. The Stars have actually outperformed us so far today. They have 3 hits, which is as many as we have, as well as a walk. So just a really poor offensive showing, which has been the trend lately. We have struggled against bad pitchers for whatever reason. And I was talking about potentially platooning Mosqueda with Todd, but Todd has been hitting against lefties even. He's been by far our best. Oh, come on. Really? Our position players are just blowing it lately. The guys that we think we can count on, we just can't. We have to rely on our pitchers to literally be flawless to win games at this point. Well, there's only Selena with a single. Or Robles, not Molina. And here's Ostovich. Can he take a walk? No, he cannot, and that would have been ball 4 too. Instead, grounding out into a double play because that's what he does best. He's the Pat Davis, but worse. And Tamura will foul out as we continue to flail. This would be okay if we had a bad team or a bad offense and good pitching. But the offense has just not been there for literally 2 to 3 weeks now. What happens if one pitcher has a bad day? That's all it takes. The guys at the bottom of the rotation are still developing. This team literally needs the offense to be good to consistently win games. And when that doesn't happen, we really do need the offense back. Well, there's Fregoso. He will be our first guy to reach 2 hits today. Here's Razzo with the opportunity to follow him. And they're going to double us off again. Molina is going to be robbed out in center, and we are still not going to be able to get any offense going. We probably have about 2 innings left from Ruelas, and then we'll have to go to the bullpen. Strikeout. Ruelas has been pitching very well today. 9 strikeouts to only 1 walk. I mean, that's excellent. He's not been too lucky with the extra base hits and such, but he's been very effective. All right, another strikeout there. All right, let's see how he's doing. And another strikeout, looking on the changeup. Nice job there by Ruelas. Here comes Duenas, and let's see here, 1-0. That's going to be out to left field and extra bases. You finally had somebody come through there. Nice double by Duenas. And they still have their starting pitcher out there. He has been just getting us to pound the ball into the ground. But here we have Mosqueda, who is struggling today. Unfortunately, that trend will continue. That might be deep enough to advance Duenas. Yep, and he will take third. We are 90 feet away from scoring a run. Unfortunately, with Pat Davis at the plate, that's probably not deep enough to score Duenas. Very shallow. Pat Davis, can you please do anything right? Robles has been able to get a hit, but not here. And once again, we will fail to score. The offense has been hugely problematic. Nice play there by Mosqueda. Deep to center, but Molina should have that. And Razzo's got that one. Ruelas goes 7 beautiful innings, keeping the Tucson offense scoreless. I'm going to get up Rich here for the next... Actually, you know what? I think I might let Ruelas go 1 more batter. Unfortunately, Ostovich is going to lead this one off. And he somehow gets on base. Ostovich becomes one of our hitters to get a single today. All right, Tamura. This guy must have... Yeah, he's got 80 grade stamina. That's impressive. Just when I thought Tamura would take a walk. But we do have Tamura on base, which is itself very good. I mean, his speed should help us score. So we'll see what we can get here. But a righty coming in is big. Fregoso now has the platoon advantage. We have Razzo next, but he doesn't hit too poorly against right-handed pitching. Fregoso with the single. He has now got 3 hits today, I believe. And yep, there's Tamura using his speed. He's taken third. Here's Razzo with the opportunity to give us our first run of the game. 0-2 count. And the MVP strikes out in a critical moment. This guy's got pretty solid stuff, but it's up to Molina now. Unfortunately, he himself is quite strikeout prone. Oh, but he will not strike out here. Unfortunately, he swings at an inside pitch and shoots it right to the center fielder, so we will once again fail to score. All right, well, Ruelas, you're going to go one more batter, and he strikes out Olsen. 12 strikeouts across 7 1/3 innings pitched for Ruelas. Excellent start by our number 2 today. AJ Sneed, pathetic versus lefties. Ken Rich with the big platoon advantage here. And a strikeout. Jorge Esparza, also pretty platoon heavy. He will be even weaker against Rich than he was against Ruelas. Deep to right, but Tamura will have it. That was a pretty easy inning for Rich and Ruelas. Here's Duenas. He will lose his platoon advantage here, but it's deep to center field. It is going to be past the center fielder, and it's going to drop in for extra bases. Ruelas is once again on second base. Duenas, not Ruelas. Here's Mosqueda, who is still pretty solid versus righties, and they are going to intentionally walk Mosqueda. Oh, to get to Davis. Davis, also known as Double Play Machine. That should be his nickname, Double Play Machine, Davis. And he will actually get a single here. Pat Davis has reached base. And we have the bases loaded and are threatening big time here. Luis Robles, 2-2. And a strikeout. Oh my goodness, that's the worst thing he could have possibly done there. Ostovich, he's going to put the first ball in play, and it's going to go for a single. Ostovich has a first RBI of the game. The utility outfielder who I heavily trash-talked before the beginning of the game is the one who actually gets us our critical first run. Tamura with a single, and we will add on another. Here he comes, and Mosqueda will score. Oh wait, that was Davis. Yeah, Davis scores. We still have good speed on the bases with Ostovich and Tamura, and here is Fragoso. Very good hitting versus righties. But he is going to ground into a double play, and that's going to end the inning. But nonetheless, 3 runs. And we're going to bring in Rich to close it off and get us a win here. Another pitching carried win. Ahumada, our former third baseman, going to be pretty threatening here. And Rich gets him. 1 out away. Bennett, another high contact righty here. 0-2. And he will strike him out. That's going to end the game, and we managed to extend our winning streak. Beautiful game by Ruelas. Another high game score of 81. Unsurprisingly, plenty to get him player of the game. Good days by Tamura, Fragoso. Okay by Razzo. Excellent Duenas. Davis came in big. No, he didn't, did he? Yeah, he did. Davis came in big. And Ostovich, surprising everybody and actually playing quite well. All right, well, that will give us another win, and we will advance to our next game. Ooh, we have a rest day apparently here. Razzo's up to 9.4 WAR now. It's a race between him and Ulola to cross 10 first, it seems. All right, and we will be playing the Mets today. We will have Ernesto Ocampo on the mound. He's been pretty solid since coming back from his injury. He's slashed his ERA down fairly significantly. And it looks like we've got our average lineup versus righties here, so we can just hop right in. All right, Tamura will start this one off against the Mets. 0-1 here. And Tamura will put the first. He did not get a single there. The second baseman ranged over and made a pretty nice play. All right, Fregoso now. I am not going to be happy if he strikes out. Fregoso shoots that one into right, and that should be fielded pretty easily. Here's Rennie, 1-2 to the second baseman, and once again, another ground out. Well, that one did not go quite as well as we'd hoped. Here is Ocampo to face Juan Robles, the leadoff man, and it looks like he's going to walk him. And he will do so, unfortunately. 1-0 here. And that's shot to Rennie, and they will turn two. Ocampo gets the runner. Jorge Perdomo, another high contact batter here. And weak grounder to Todd. He has it easily, and that's the inning. Rodolfo Razo will lead it off. Okay, this guy's a high stuff pitcher, but he's low control and low movement, so we shouldn't have a problem. If we don't strike out, we should not have a problem getting high contact or drawing walks. And speak of the devil, oh, Razo gets robbed of a double by the right fielder there. Here's Molina. And if I'm not wrong, I think I saw a 65 contact versus right-handed pitching. I'm wrong. So Molina has not actually improved. I don't understand why people shift against Todd, or hard shift against him. He is a pull hitter, but he's not an extreme pull hitter. And there, that one is going to be shot up the middle and into center field. Here is Stutz, our number 7 hitter for the day. Full count. This one's probably going to be put in play. Oh, geez. Stutz strikes out. He's had a problem with that lately. Duenas now. 0-2. He's probably going to strike out, unfortunately. Yeah, and we will not score. 0-2 here. And a strikeout for Ocampo. Josh Burney. 1-1. That's going to be into the right center gap, and Molina makes an excellent play. That's going to go for extra bases. An excellent throw by Tamura gets cut off, and he will be safe. 2-2 here, and a strikeout for Ocampo. Nice job there. All right, Laureano, the number 9 man today. Can he take a walk? He can. Laureano actually manages to reach via base on balls. All right, so this guy's got weak hold runners, and their catcher has a weak arm. So I think we can actually steal here today. But Tamura has other ideas in mind and will instead ground out. All right, well, let's have him take third here. And he will be safe. 1-0 here for Fregoso. 2-1, this is in play. And it's going to be a single. We will score our first run, and the offense has managed to do something. Rennie now. 0-2. Ooh, and he gets hit. But he does not get out, and that's the important thing. Razo, 1-2. That's deep to left center field, and Razo got robbed of a double this time, or last time, but he will not this time. Okay, Rennie should be able to score. Yep, Rennie scores. And here's Molina, 2-1. And he will single up the middle. We're not going to have Razo come in to score here. All right, Mike Todd. Big inning so far. Todd shoots that one down to the pitcher. And he is safe. That is an infield single by Todd to load the bases for Stutz. Another full count for the catcher. And he strikes out again. Duenas cannot get that one through the infield, and he will not be the hero today. That will end the inning, but we do score 3. And an infield single, which Ocampo has actually had problems with lately, I will note. Castleberry is very quick. 0-2 here. And a strikeout. Full count. And he allows a walk. 0-2 again. And another strikeout. Ocampo can be dominant. And another strikeout. Ocampo gets 3 in the inning. Laureano again here. That's deep to center. I'm betting that's getting caught. Here's Tamura, 2-2. That's a little tapper. Can the catcher get him? And he nails him. Here's Fregoso with the bases empty, 1-1. And there's another little tapper. This should also be an easy play. Ocampo with an 0-1. And that should be caught by Tamura. Bernie is safe a bet for a strikeout as anybody, but full count and a strikeout. 3-0, this is likely a walk. Ocampo allows a fair bit of walks, but he does strike out quite a few guys. He has an electric arsenal. Rennie here, 1-2. Please do not strike out. Well, he didn't strike out, but he didn't reach base. Razzo with a shot here, and they're bringing in a reliever. 2-2 on Razzo here. He swings at an outside pitch, which is uncharacteristic, and flies out to center fielder Castleberry. Here's Molina. Full count. And he strikes out looking. That's disappointing. Speaking of Castleberry, here he is. 3-1 count. He already got an infield single last time, but this time he's going to fly out to Molina in center. Light Schlitter. 1-1. That one's ripped into left center field, and that's going to go for extra bases. Two. That one shot to Duenas, and he will throw him out at first base. Mike Anderson. First ball is put in play, and that should be easy for Molina. It is very deep to center field, though, but he still has got it. Todd with a 1-1 here. And it will be past the shift, and he's got himself a single. Stutz still cannot reach base for the life of him. Stutz has been the rally killer today with his strikeouts and is now grounding into double play. Duenas is 2-2 here. That should be an easy play for Castleberry. Middle of the order here to face Ocampo. 1-1 pitch to Perdomo. Razzo makes an outstanding dive to keep it in the infield, but he cannot make the play. Full count and a strikeout. One, two. And it's over Duenas' head into left field. Full count again, and a walk. Bad luck after bad luck after bad luck, and it's starting to kill Ocampo. That one is going past Razzo into center field. They will score a run. Castleberry, please get him, Ocampo. He's not striking guys out in this inning. Rennie really has to go out there to make that play. 0-2, please strike him out. Leitschlitter, who started this inning, will send that one very deep to center field. It's going to be extra bases, and their catcher has a bases clearing triple. Ocampo totally blowing it. And finally, an out. After a horrendous inning by Ocampo. I will get up Rich here. We've got a lot of lefties coming up. Laureano 0-1 right in front of home plate. This has been an identical play to those other two we had earlier. Tamura now 1-1. And that's out into right field. We've got ourselves a base runner. Tamura should be able to steal on this catcher. The pitcher looks like he's safe enough to steal on. And he slides into second base. Nice job there by Tamura to take his 98th bag of the season. And 99 as well. Can Fregoso get us our run? It's shot past the first baseman, and Fregoso has an RBI single. We tie the game back up. Here's Rennie. They bring in a lefty to face him. First ball is going to be put in play here. Their second baseman makes an excellent diving cab to rob Rennie of a single. And here comes Razzo. 1-2. Their shortstop makes a diving grab, but it will not stop Razzo from reaching base. Molina now. And that ball will get away. That was a terrible pitch. I don't even know what they're trying to do there. Full count, and Molina strikes out, but we take the lead back. All right, we're bringing in Rich here. We're going to have to hope that he can maintain the lead. He has blown a game very recently. Full count. And that should be an easy play for Tamura, or my bad, Laureano in left. 0-2. Pop fly there should be very easy. And they'll let Rich field it himself, which is uncharacteristic. Normally the pitcher does not take infield flies. It's ripped down the right field line, and Rich will allow extra bases. Tamura makes a valiant effort to get him at second, but he cannot do so. Full count here. And a walk. Another full count. And a strikeout that time. All right, let's see who's coming up. Do we want to get up Bustamante? I think we're going to get up Bustamante here. Here's Mike Todd to start this inning. 3-1, that's good. He does not draw a walk. Instead, he is going to pop out. Ben Stutz, platoon advantage for the first time in the game, and he finally manages to be productive. Duenas crushes lefties, but will instead ground out. Thank goodness Stutz wasn't hurt. Laureano, 2-2, and strikes out. We'll have the top of the order for the next inning, but we're going to need Bustamante to keep the game right where it is. 2-1. Fly ball to left field. Laureano should have it, no problem. Castleberry hits righties much better than lefties. 2-2 count. And a strikeout nonetheless. First ball put in play. Easy ground out to Razzo, and Bustamante gets the side. Tamura here to lead it off. They are bringing in another righty. We've seen a lot of Mets pitchers in this game. Their bullpen should be pretty depleted for the series. That one is going to be caught. Tamura is out. Here's Fregoso. 1-0 pitch here. And a foul out, of all things. Alan Hayes has very little behind his fastball. Let's see if Rennie can get to him. Out to center field. That should be caught pretty easily, and our offense can't get anything done. 1-2. Strikeout. Full count. Fly ball. Molina's going over, and he's got it. Jorge Perdomo's scary good versus right-handed pitching. First ball in play. And it's a ground out to Rodolfo Razo. We win our 112th game. We are 50 games away from an undefeated season. Well, we had some terrifying moments in there, but we did manage to pull it off. And this is why we need our offense, because Ocampo had a bad day, and if it had gotten much more out of hand, we would have lost today. All right, we're going to have to hope for our offense to come back sometime soon because it's not looking good. I'll see you guys on the next one.